Right now, I would think that the advantage is on the side of Groves. So let's just check the base real quick. And I'll also try to get my hotkeys set correctly as well. Right. So let's see. I don't even see any battle cups on the USSU side. Meanwhile, for Groves, I don't see any battle cups there either. Maybe everybody just got knocked out or something. Well, in any case, got the early word out there for the offlane Enigma here on the side of Groves High School. And that one will be played by HSL. We've got Mossy handling the Queen of Pain for his side. Ogre Magi will be Remster. Playing the Lone Druid is going to be Kong. And then finally, the Shadow Shaman will be handled by Waffles RS. Meanwhile, on the Tara side for USS Youth, it's going to be Crystal Maiden played by Chance. Treant Protector will be number 1. Shadow Fiend in the mid lane will be handled by Alfredo. Our offlane Darkseer will be Sportslot. And then finally, the Juggernaut with the Arcana is going to be Fastest Man Alive. Trying to see what he can do as the Juggernaut. So we've been waiting quite a while for this match tonight. I've quite frankly been quite busy. But clearly these teams have been preparing quite a bit for this matchup. And we'll just have to see how they do against each other here. How they manage to stack up. Heard that Kong is probably one of the best players in the HSL. Definitely one of the coolest players. We'll have to see if his bear can be as cool as he is. Close eyes on this mid matchup as well. Mossy really does need to take advantage of the first couple of levels here to make sure that he doesn't get put at too much of a disadvantage. But here comes the rotation from the supports. They really want to take out Alfredo. Remster taking a lot of damage from the tower. There's going to be a TP in from the Crystal Maiden. Do they have enough? Yes, they most definitely do. Mossy had the damage and he gets the first blood gold as well. Waffles RS going over to the side, nearly getting taken out by the tower. Crystal Maiden managed, or was going to TP in, but decided to cancel that after it was decided that the Shadow Fiend had no chance in the mid lane, but perhaps he might have been able to find a follow-up kill if she actually had kept that going, although she is a bit low on mana. And Hot Salsa will get hit a little bit here. Unfortunately, Crystal Maiden still no mana in order to go up against the Enigma there. I mean, having the root of the Treant as well as all the damage of his auto attacks, and then you add in the frostbite of Crystal Maiden as well, definitely have a lot of kill potential on the lane. And knowing that the Enigma is going to very quickly rotate into the jungle. So Mossy versus Alfredo for now. Oh, actually missing kills because that's what we do here in the High School Star League. That's the mark of a true HSL cast right there, missing kills. Darkseer gets caught out at bottom. And like I was saying, you really do have to time the surge up against Shackles and the extra stun from Fire Blast. Because if you do use the surge at the wrong time, you're basically up the creek without a paddle. And up the creek without an escape. So you really do need to be careful of that. And again, we're going to see offlaners that really don't want to stand in the lane too much at all. Darkseer is going to sit in the jungle for a little bit and try to get some farm that way, which will give Kong a free lane and also allow the Grove supports to continue to rotate around the map. They've already gotten 2 kills to their name, so they're off to a pretty hot start here. So it has been quite the long day for these players. 8:30 p.m. on the East Coast here. So we'll see how much energy they have for this game. I'm sure that these aspiring high school stars most definitely have more than enough to give in this game. Chan's getting in with the Frostbite once again onto the Enigma, but unfortunately Treant Protector was not there to follow up. And oh, it would seem that there's definitely a courier. I don't know why a Fastest Man Alive feels the need to ask people to do that. But in any case, Mossy's still trying to keep the last hits up in mid. He's just 6 above the Shadow Fiend, but the real telling story here in the mid lane is the denies. He's got 11 denies over what Shadow Fiend just got as his first rotation into the mid lane once again. Waffles RS is here. He's going to get the Hex out onto Crystal Maiden. They really do have to disengage because I don't really see them cutting through the health of Treant Protector. And if they have a prolonged fight there, it's most likely not going to turn out well for Groves. Instead, USS Youth are going to just take out a couple of illusions, get some gold back from that. But there's a lot of people inside the jungle. Darkseer's pretty much abandoned that lane entirely, which allows, like I said, Waffles RS and Remster to do whatever they want on the map, make as much space as possible for probably their Enigma, who's going to have probably the roughest time elsewhere. Chance going over to the rune. It is an Invis rune. Waffles RS does not have enough mana, rather, in order to use a shackle, and he might be in some trouble here. Treant Protector getting over there, but nope, not going to be there in time. Fire Blast on the Crystal Maiden. Does Mossy have enough damage for this one? Looks like he definitely will. And number one kept out of the fight once again by another Hex from Waffles RS. So, a pretty interesting start for each side here. 3 kills to start off the killings for Groves High School. And Mossy is, of course, doing quite well at mid. He's also got 2 kills to his name. Yeah, he got the first blood against Shadow Fiend. So, he's got a pretty fast start to this game. It's going to take a while for him to build into some interesting items, but I'd like to see where he decides to go first. He might decide on going with the Veil of Discord. Seen a couple of Queen of Pains go with that, but with this fast start, he may decide to go for something a bit more aggressive. We shall just have to see. And Ogre Magi inside the jungle, trying to deny some creeps away from anybody that might show up here, and also secure some farm for himself. So the Treant Protector, just knowing that there's an empty lane here, may as well leech as much as possible. Does also want to get it to level 3. He did not decide to level up the living armor at all, which is a little bit strange if you ask me. It's definitely a very strong tool. Waffles RS is going to start up the play on the mid lane towards the Shadow Fiend. He is taking the harass from the tower. Shadow Fiend might try to turn around on him. And in fact, he's going to look for that turnaround kill. Okay, yeah, he can't throw out enough raises to take down Mossy. And he's going to be on a killing spree right now after that 3rd kill. So again, continuing to do well here and really making it so that Alfredo is having a tough time in the mid lane. Currently, he's at 29 for 21. It's a huge amount of denies. More denies than Alfredo even has last hit. So clearly, Mossy's been trying to take as much advantage as that lane is of that lane as possible. Let's quickly go over to the shrine and pick that up, pick up the haste rune, and bottle up quite a bit as well. He's still got the clarity going on himself as well. So as a mid laner, it is very important to feel comfortable on your hero, and clearly Mossy definitely feels that. He has gotten 3 kills. He's working on the power treads right now, so he's going to be even more difficult to kill. Has not decided to use the Sonic Wave just yet, but meanwhile, fastest man alive on the top lane gets the fastest slashes in the game right now with the Omni Slash. Manages to take out the Enigma. Not a big deal for him, but he is still not yet at level 6. So he probably does want to at least have access to the black hole very soon. Chance walking around the top. He's going to plant down a ward to try to get some vision of the jungle here. Any kinds of rotations that might be coming to try to get him. He sees Remster here. He also sees the Shadow Shaman moving around. So any move that Groves might want to make at top is probably not going to come to fruition here with all the vision that USS Youth have. Mossy just picking up the easy bounty rune here. As Shadow Shaman waiting in the trees. I really don't think they can go after Juggernaut right now. Just the amount of health that he has, as well as the help from behind of Crystal Maiden. And then he's also Got the Blade Fury as well. I just think that any aggression that Groves might be wanting to have there would probably be a bit misguided onto him. Waffles are us getting away from the Crystal Maiden for now. Just a little bit of a snowball fight. Sportslot's still making his way around here. What does Kong currently have? He went for the first item, Hand of Midas, and he's going to be getting the Radiance after a couple of pairs of boots. There's also the Ion Shell on the Tree and Protector here. But the bear easily takes care of the Ion Shell. Now there's a root onto the Darkseer, and well, it's time. Oh, wow. Nice fear to knock number one out of his initial hit of Kong. Excellent usage there. I don't even know. I think it had to have been mostly lucky, but Kong clearly up on his reflexes there. Nice play to make sure that he was in absolutely no danger at all there. I honestly don't think that he would have gone down, but he did do a huge amount of harass over to Sportslot. He was forced to get some regen over there. Now the Ion Shell goes once again on the Tree and Protector, and this time Chance is going to join the party at bottom. Meanwhile, there are 4 Groves heroes at top. The thing about the Lone Druid is, though, he can just move the bear around and still get last hits as long as he's within range. So I don't think Kong is going to be worried too much. They may decide to make the call to go on to him soon. And there's the Ion Shell, fastest man alive, going for Kong. He needs the bear to be there. There's the Savage Roar. He's going to turn himself into a bear. Here comes the rotations from Groves. The Omnislash, not too great, but the Blade Fury is going to be pretty good. Lone Druid falls, and they take down 2 at bottom. Mossy's still hanging out here. Juggernaut into the trees. He is healing up. And Queen of Pain decides that she wants to go onto the quite tanky Darkseer. Might be going a bit far for this one. Darkseer does not have any more dots on him. She has a blink. Is she going to go for it? Mossy trying to get it. But the Darkseer is going to go within inches of his life. Meanwhile, fastest man alive trying to get away from Hot Salsa here, who already used the black hole. And now this Ogre Magi, although he's tanky, he might not be tanky enough. And those crits are doing a great deal of chunking down the health. And after that entire fight, we see a 2-for-2 slightly in favor of USS Youth. First item is indeed the Veil of Discord for Mossy. And even though Mossy did have a great start in the mid lane, Shadowfiend currently at level 11. He was the first one to pick up a talent in this game. So Mossy maybe trying to be a bit too aggressive with his team. Definitely took himself out of the levels for a little bit. So he's going to want to try to get back on that horse. Meanwhile, Enigma will be building up the Hand of Midas for himself. Oh, okay. Alfredo thinking about the Requiem, but Mossy deciding that, well, he actually decides that it's not really going to be enough to take down Mossy, who did have a blink to get away anyway. Ramster going to the high ground. Alfredo's so ready for this. Could have gotten the Ignite thrown at him, but I think the range and the amount of vision there probably affected the Ogre Magi's ability to get that one off. A little bit more health for the Lone Druid now. Is Mossy at level 10 just yet? Yeah, but he decided not to level a talent. Interesting decision there. Okay, Juggernaut turned into a chicken. Fire Blast stacked on top of the shackles. Is he going to be able to get away from here? Fast Man alive trying to get away. Koriski making sure that he keeps himself safe, and his team is here to help him out. He drops down the healing word as well. How far are they going to go for this? Mossy gets hit with 1 raise. Now Shadowfiend turned into a chicken. That ability is a surprisingly low cooldown when you think about it. 13 seconds for what is a 3.5 second hex at level 4. And you can increase that shackle to 6.5. And then you do some strange things with the cooldown times, and you can have shackles up quite a bit. But yeah, that does turn into a rather stunning, excuse the pun, late game ability. Double damage rune on Mossy now. He's getting the Wind Lace delivered to him for his Yule Scepter. Should be interesting against the control that USS Youth have. Meanwhile, though, the Eidolons We'll be helping to push in the bottom lane alongside of the double damage rune of Mossy. Mossy's going to go over and TP over to the shrine. He has a little bit of help from the Ogre Magi and the Shadow Shaman. They probably can't defend this one. Mossy will show up there. Gets hit by the Dark Seer's Ion Shell a little bit. There's the root, but a nice hex onto the Treant Protector is going to allow the Queen of Pain to get away. And wow, this Blade Fury is doing a ridiculous amount of damage. It's up to level 4. There's the Sonic Wave going through a couple. Sportslot throwing down the wall, but he's going to get thrown down on himself. Here, Chance keeping Mossy in place. There's a little bit of damage there, but I don't know what a Crystal Maiden is thinking in that situation. Number 1 now tries to get away from Mossy. Turns invisible. Where's the detection? Not here. And now the Bear and the Shadow Shaman Illusion can go right after Mossy. He's okay with that. Just gets an easy 5 gold from each. And number 1 will be continuing with his hangout on the top lane. It starts with the Living Armor out onto the tower. But Kong starts to, well, actually didn't even get through the Living Armor at all. He has to get away now. Will get hit by number 1's creepy tree dance here. Blade Fury taking down Kong. And Kong way too far out there. Couldn't really hang out with the Dire squad at all. And well, the Living Armor will continue to go on to the top tier 1 tower, making it ever more frustrating for Groves to get through those first couple of towers. Oh, scan hits on the Alfredo. Oh no, slightly off on that scan, but Mossy knows where Alfredo is. It's going to take a lot to get through his health, and Mossy does not have any form of crowd control to get through that. Enigma just a bit too far behind, so that's going to mean that USS Youth get the easy push on the top tower, and Shadow Fiend gets out with his life. Couple of TPs once again over to the shrine. Is not active any longer, and Shadow Shaman is going to cancel that TP. Just let Kong work things out on his own, which he definitely does. In any case, we do have time to switch to our net worth per hero here, which for some reason I forgot about. So we do have that now, seeing that the Queen of Pain. I don't know why I keep wanting to say that the Crystal Maiden is at the top of that. Oh, there's the overgrowth on the Queen of Pain, and she'll get hit by the Frostbite as well. Vacuum will keep her there. The stun lock is real at top, and that is one thing that you can do if you're USS Youth, and something that the Queen of Pain is going to have to be aware of. Even though they didn't start off with the Nature's Guys route, we used an overgrowth for it. They still managed to get the kill, so it's completely okay. They're starting to get onto the tier 1 tower, and this Groves High School squad is definitely one that can take down the towers quite effectively between the snakes and the bear. Look how fast that thing goes. And they should be able to get out of this as well. Hex out onto the Juggernaut. Can Waffles RS get away? He needs his team to help. Here comes the Blade Fury. The root is there from Frostbite as well. Black Hole didn't really seem too effective. He just ended up dying there. He was kind of right underneath the Requiem as well. So now we see an aggressive push from USS Youth. Meanwhile, though, the courier just got hit by the Serpent Wards, and you see the feathers just flying down to the ground there. You have to be a little bit more cognizant of where you decide to put that courier when you're getting the items delivered to you. And now, unfortunately, for the Dar side, they're not going to be able to have the luxury of those items. Sports Slot getting chunked down a little bit. There's the Sonic Wave. They're committing a lot for this one. Living Armor is going to be there. Vacuum back onto 3. They're having to go through a wall for this, which is going to slow them down quite a bit. But Mossy, again with a blink, over, a scream in the face. And Darkseer is going to go back to his room crying because his mama just yelled at him. It's not very fun. Not a good feeling when your mama yells at you. Bear gets the bounty rune. They're kind of slightly missing their time on the Juggernaut, but they do have the vision here. Uses the Blade Fury to try to get away. He has to TP out, and I guess he does if the root isn't there, which it's not. They just get it one hit too late out onto the... What should we call him? The spaghetti squash creep? I think that works out. Mossy looking for a Yule's target. Number 1 doing some scouting, but they're not going to find Alfredo in the trees. The only thing they can do here is try to continue to push, but they're going to break the trees with a Midnight Pulse a little bit too late. and just missed their opportunity. Meanwhile, at top, though, they did find the Darkseer, and he's going to get cut out once again. You can't run when you got shackles on you. And there's another set of snakes in the top lane as well. This Grove squad will continue to work with their cooldowns and take these towers down. Alright, so Salty Sand Kings with a very slight lead in terms of net worth. They're at about 1,500 right now. But the real story is the Shadow Fiend, Alfredo, getting up to the Dragonlance and nearly a BKB already. He's really been farming up a storm. And although he may not have had the easiest lane against Mossy's Queen of Pain, he's definitely doing a great job of farming through the lanes and the jungle, making sure that he makes up from his not so great early start and is ready to put some pressure onto Groves. Where's our... Okay, so the Lone Druid, it takes a little bit longer for him to build this up. It's 1,000 gold away from the Sacred Relic. Really wants to get to the Radiance, so he's going to build the Bear. See how that goes for him. The Radiance should do some alright work against the Shadow Fiend for a while. And maybe the Juggernaut as well. Since the Bear still is pretty tanky and you'll be making them miss a lot of their shots. I don't know why I'm pressing all the random buttons on my gamepad. I think I'm still stuck in Paragon mode or something. But in any case, Groves making a play towards the bottom tier 2 tower. Oh, do they catch up the Darkseer? No! Darkseer, no! You can't be there! Hex, the Shackles, Mossy with the Sonic Wave as well! They catch him out again! This is just absurd now. It feels like the third time in a very short time that the Darkseer has gotten caught out. Mossy with another double damage, and it seems like he finds those every Sunday or something, which it does indeed happen to be Sunday. Yule Scepter onto Alfredo, who's going to get turned into a chicken. Mossy kept there for a couple seconds. Do they have the damage? BKB, Requiem, disrupted with the Black Hole, and the Black Hole's going to catch out 3, pulling in Alfredo through the BKB, and although he did get a very good timing on that one, they have the counter, they have the Enigma, and with 3 dead, Groves are going to go up towards the base. Midnight Pulse trying to take down the Creep Wave, and also forcing back the dire side buyback from Tree and Protector. It's a little bit early to be thinking about those. Just a 5,000 gold lead right now, but the Bear is too strong. The Bear is going to be taking down the tier 3 tower, and they might be looking at a 20-minute racks. This is just insane from Groves. Who would have thought that a small fight like that could result in such a big thing in this game? All right, Vacuum into the Overgrowth. Blade Fear from Juggernaut. Waffles R Us trying to get away. He really wants to get the utility off. Oh, he's going to try to juke into the trees, but it's not going to be a juke at all. Followed by the Juggernaut. Here comes the Onyx Touch as well. They turn it around. Ramster in the middle of the Midnight Pulse, but it's not going to matter. 3 dead. Turned right around on the head of Groves High School. At least they get the Lone Druid and Enigma out, but... well, just as bad as that earlier fight went for USS Youth, they turn it around and pick up 3 on their own side. But unfortunately, before they can do that, they did lose the tier 3 tower and melee racks, which is not a really good sign just 22 minutes into the game. That also puts the Lone Druid just a couple hundred gold away from the Sacred Relic build up into Radiance. He already has the Sacred Relic. And Enigma will have his Guardian Greaves quite soon as well. So it's just so surprising that Groves High School were able to do so much with really not even their full build of items. They didn't have the Aghanim Scepter complete on Queen of Pain. They just had a beautiful Black Hole from the Enigma. Had the Blink Dagger, walked in, got it done, and really made Shadow Fiend feel a lot worse about building the BKB so early, since he just got immediately countered there. Hopefully the next fight goes better for him, but he really can't afford to get caught out by another Black Hole like that. He's going to be on the mid lane once again. Does have the Haste Rune and the BKB available. Blinking by Mossy. They need the rest of the team. The Shadow Fiend isn't going to be there. He has a Blink, or rather the Haste to get away. And yeah, they really did need some more follow-up from the rest of the team. Taking a look at our net worth, a very sharp decline there on the Salty Sand King side, down to 4,000. XP is kind of close-ish, but close-ish doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to say when one team's going for the Roshan, which it doesn't really seem like USS Youth have scouted out at all. It doesn't really seem like they're going to be making their way over to the pit at all. I guess they're not really expecting that from Groves. They did make a very quick play to the Shadow Fiend, but, well, once again, USS Youth caught with their pants down here. It seems like everybody's marking the time down. That's a sign of good team coordination. The whoops comes out from the Enigma. They're going to shrine up and see if they can try to take a fight, immediately going for the smoke. Groves High School, the aggressors here. Waffles R Us leading the way. Now we have the Radiance on the Spirit Bear. Let's see what the Lone Druid can do with it. Trying to catch out fastest man alive. The Blade Fury is over. Can they catch him out? They need the Hex. It's not going to be there just yet. Waffles is just running for it. He's dead. Oh, nice Hex onto the Shadow Fiend. But he gets blocked in the tower. Did not reset the aggro. Looking for the Black Hole. Hits on the 2. There's a Requiem on the other side. And the Omni Slash was going off before the Black Hole was even there. They need some more damage here. The Bear just sitting there, Kong in the middle of everything. He can't take it. And here comes a beautiful fight from USS Youth. They're not going to catch out the Queen of Pain. Makes it away with a blink, but she still has the Aegis on herself. Unfortunately, not going to help her team too much when they are all dead. The rest of them, 16 kills to 16. USS Youth once again bringing it back with another beautiful fight. It's a nice opportunity when your Juggernaut gets the Omni Slash into the middle of the Black Hole and just takes out the Enigma during it. I mean, it seemed like he was just kind of grasping for straws there with that Black Hole. He really wants to catch out the Shadow Fiend every time, but if he goes for the Shadow Fiend, he's not really going to catch too much else in that specific situation. And with that, USS Youth, they're going to be the ones pushing towards the Radiant base, taking out the tier 2. Waffles R Us stepping up once again. He really can't keep doing this. They get the Eul Scepter on the Shadow Fiend. They want a little bit more. They need to take him out of this fight. His BKB is up in 13 seconds. They got to turn around and actually do some damage to him. They find the Treant Protector. There goes the Death Requiem, and they should have complete control of this Treant as well. Kept in place with the Shackles and kept in place with the Death. His Tombstone planted right there in the middle of the Radiant mid lane, and looks like they are going to be the ones once again. This is a back and forth, a ping pong match if you will, with the Salty Sand Kings going back down the mid lane. Oh, they found the Eul Scepter onto the Crystal Maiden, and she does not have a whole lot of life to survive here, but a nice surge is going to get her out of harm's way. Can they get a root? They get the Hex and the Shackles. Nice kill on the Darkseer to again put the pain onto USS Youth. Alright, so here we go to the high ground. Mossy up there with the Bear. They got the snakes around it as well. I feel like they could get some better positioning with the snakes. They're kind of spraying them around the tower, which is a little bit easier for USS Youth to try to take down. But there goes the tower, and looks like Salty Sand Kings are not going to be pushing their advantage here. They're just going to let it go at the tier 3 tower. They could also take out the shrines, which have not been touched yet this match. Smoke in from USS Youth, trying to get the initiation once again. They have the Blink Overgrowth available from number 1. Mossy up there. There's a Vacuum Overgrowth. The beautiful combo is there. They'll throw out the Sonic Wave, but I don't see a way in which Groves get out of this one. Aegis popped on Mossy. I don't really think they turned this around. She could have the Blink out. She's going to go aggressive on the chance. She did have the Gober Cape going, which is going to keep her alive for now. Queen of Pain up underneath the Requiem. Nice Blink away, but she's going to get just touched by Alfredo there. And unfortunately, it's going to be another good fight from USS Youth. They're not losing their heads right now. They might have lost their shrine, but they did not lose their freedom. And they're not losing their minds at all either. Juggernaut at the top of the net worth now as well. That's the spot that he hasn't really been enjoying too much in this match. But right now with the Manta Style and the Diffusal and what's this being delivered on the Courier, it's going to be a Blink Dagger for him. So he's looking mighty fine in terms of items. They just have to keep Groves from getting into their base anymore. Like, they can't continue to lose these buildings. You really want to do, well, you do really want to take advantage of the Treant Protector healing up your buildings. So small pushes from Groves, not a problem. But where they actually take buildings, That is where the fun starts for Groves and the fun ends for USS Youth. But so they really do have to do a better job of not giving up kills and not giving up towers in the near future. Push gets started on the top lane for Groves. Shadow Fiend, he's built up his Hurricane Pike and he's going to be getting a Butterfly for himself. Where's our Lone Druid going for? It's going to be an Assault Cuirass. And Queen of Pain, well, she's finished up the Aghanim Scepter on her way to a BKB. Mossy still pushing in that top lane. His team ready in response if USS Youth decide to try to get a defense off. Alright, Trainpert are doing some nice scouting, but he is underneath the sentry ward. Now the dust comes out, and I really don't think that USS Youth are going to go to that length to try to defend their Train Protector. They're probably just going to let him hang out there, but he is taking quite a while to die with the living armor. Eventually they do take him. Enigma getting the kill, and they'll just go right for the shrine now. Top tower dead. They dropped the snakes for it. Maybe unnecessary, but it does help to get it down while the rest of the team is chasing down a Train Protector. Now you got a lot of more damage for the Shadow Fiend, so if he starts to get a little bit more sustained damage out onto Groves High School, it could be bad news bears for them. He's hitting for about 300 unmitigated damage right now. 310 to be exact. So that's quite a bit for this early in the game. Tier 3 tower again. Look how fast that bear takes the tower down. Is going to probably get killed here. Don't really see it leaving right now. Alfredo will take 300 gold off of it. But another easy summon of the bear. Now this is the healing that we were talking about. You do have to get the living armor going on the tower. And this will make these siege pushes a little bit less rewarding for Salty Sand Kings. They're just going to back up after that one, realizing that they probably should at least get a couple more items, maybe in Aegis, before they go for the high ground like that. Nice mobility items on the Salty Sand King supports. Here comes the smoke from USS Youth, trying to take advantage of a disorganized Grove squad. They're not going to find anyone right now, but they're making a beeline right down towards the middle lane. Can they find anybody in the jungle? You're not seeing anybody right now, and in terms of their vision, they don't really have a whole lot. And yeah, their push is going to be interrupted by the fact that the bottom lane is pushing in just a bit much. And we get a pause here, so that'll give us a chance to look at the XP and the gold, which is on a pretty steady incline to Groves High School's side. XP is slightly on the side of USS Youth, but it is still quite close, about 1,000 at this point, so really wouldn't worry about that too much. In this match, Salty Sand Kings with a pretty good advantage for now over USS Youth. The only problem is USS Youth are starting to get farmed up bit by bit. They got the extra +2 damage per soul on the Shadow Fiend. So he's going to be doing a huge amount of damage in these fights, and he's even about to get a Butterfly. Very aggressive build from him. I mean, when you have a BKB and then a Butterfly, you're mitigating both magical and physical damage. So he should be feeling pretty good about himself there, and should be hitting huge in team fights. Unless he gets caught up by a black hole, these fights are looking mighty fine for him. And then, of course, you always gotta love the aggressive fight removal of yourself with Omni Slash. The way I like to think about it is you remove yourself from taking any amount of damage, and you're doing a huge amount to the enemy team. As long as you don't get caught out at the end of it, usually things turn out fine for you. So we are ready to get going with this. Just game number 1 of the best of 3. Whoever loses this one will still have a shot in game number 2. And as close as this game is getting here, it seems like we might have a very close series, possibly going to a game 3, depending on the draft for the next one. I think both. Excuse me. I think it's pretty hard actually to separate these two teams right now. They've both had some really good spots in this match. I mean, USSU, sometimes their team fights are just so difficult to try to play against. When you have Vacuum into Overgrowth, like that's just such an amazing combo here. While Zaturk Youth or Salty Saint Kings or Groves High School, they've got a lot going for themselves as well. So, I mean, even if one team has like a 7,000 gold lead right now, like Groves High School have, it's going to come down to a bit more than that to determine the victor in these team fights. Alfredo. Oh, there's the blink by Waffles Rest and the Hex. There's the Shackles. Where's the team? Where's the Living Armor? It's not there. It was on cooldown from Treant Protector. I think you might have just put it on him, but the damage is just coming so hard and fast from Groves High School. They really could not even care less about the Living Armor that came in from the Treant. So buyback from the Shadow Fiend. Roshan yet to respawn. He's going to be back up in about 20 seconds, 10 seconds actually, because I do have this nice little thing on the UI that'll tell me now. But I don't know if Groves High School will be having anyone scouting it when it actually spawns. In fact, it just comes up now. So it seems that neither team knows about... Oh. Yeah, I think that's a pretty appropriate response to ulting an illusion. Sometimes you just get really excited about seeing a Queen of Pain, the core hero for the enemy team, hanging out in your jungle. You can't really imagine that it's an illusion. Or then you have that opposite situation where you have a character that's taking so much damage, and you're like, oh, it must be an illusion. It can't possibly be real. And then it dies, and you're like, oh, that was actually real. That's always a good feeling, because that means you're doing a stupidly ridiculous amount of damage that you don't even realize it. It's usually something like a Weaver, honestly. Alright, Roshan scouted out by the bear. Groves know all about it, but Groves also know that their Shadow Shaman is being ganked in the top lane. One hit kill from Kuriski? No, not needed. They'll just hand it over to the Crystal Maiden. And that's probably going to halt Groves' advances towards Roshan. There's a bear here. Shan's trying to chase down the bear. Mossy will go around the side here. New location of the Roshan pit makes for some interesting team fight scenarios. You can kind of come around from the back, which was a lot harder to do in the earlier location in this area of the map. It used to be like over here, and you would have to jump in from the Dire side high ground. That's why Dire has such an advantage there. And then you have the even older times. If you look back at old TI3 videos when the Roshan pit was over here, that was even more fun, because you could actually buy items from the secret shop while you were inside the Roche pit. Obviously, you can't do that anymore, as you see the largest chicken in the world hang out inside the Roshan pit. Oh, that's not a chicken, that's actually a Roshan, as the second Roshan of the game should be taken here by Groves. Medallion of Courage, making it so that the Roshan dies a little bit quicklier, if that's even a word. Maybe I should go back to high school if I can't figure out if that's a word or not. She's on the ground, though. Looks like Groves have been keeping control of that this entire game. Mossy over to mid. He's got the Aegis on himself. The Cheese goes over to Lone Druid. Waffles RS keeps on going through the talents. Oh, no. He could get caught out here. The rest of his team not really wanting to help him out. They break the smoke. Oh, Mossy to the high ground. He's going to get rooted in place. Dual Scepter, though, could keep him alive. He's going to be able to blink away from that one. Waffles RS, what are you doing, dude? What the heck? Why would you go over there? He really wanted to get ulted by a Shadow Fiend. That's what wakes me up in the morning. Okay, vacuum on the 3 million on the backside. It's going to be the black hole on the 3. Overgrowth is going to stop the Enigma, but I think it might be enough. Okay. All of Groves are kind of grouped up here. Omnislash over to the Enigma. Gets passed over to the Shadow Shaman. And a lot of members of USS Youth are being taken down here. Sports Law is going to fall. Triple kill from Mossy. Koreyski manages to get out with the TP. But Groves High School are ready to go in for this one. Backdoor protection not present on the mid lane thanks to the creeps pushing in through bottom, which the Juggernaut is desperately trying to kill right now. But he can't kill it quite fast enough. The first Rex is going to fall in mid. The second one to fall as well. All they have for the Mega Creeps to take now is a tier 3 tower in the top lane. And now they're also going to find the tier 3 tower, possibly, after that fortification. Only Juggernaut and Tree and Protector to defend this one for now, and Shadowfiend is still trying to recover from his past buyback. Mossy up in the air with the Yule Scepter. Koreyski trying to do as much as possible here. Number 1 will get stunned out by the Fire Blast. They want to take down the bear. Nice little bash there. Crystal made it into the fight, but so they managed to take out the creep before Shadow Shaman can get in here. Not sure why he wanted to be so aggressive with that one, but Remster up against the Juggernaut. They really can't afford to let him die here. He's going to get rooted. Mossy's still getting kills. He's used the BKB. He's chasing down the Juggernaut. He gets the Scream of Pain, and he's going to get the kill as well. Buyback from the Juggernaut. They actually have to have all hands on deck right now. Kunkel does not want to get stunned out. Stream Protector by his back. He's going to get the Overgrowth out on the Queen of Pain. Mossy in some trouble. He doesn't have any mana thanks to the Diffusal Blade on Koreyski, but he's going to get the Aegis pop. Now Lone Druid has to try to stay alive. Mossy blinking away. Sonic Wave is there. Juggernaut getting low. He's already used his buyback right next to the snakes. It's not going to matter at all. Juggernaut's going to die. That's a GG as Groves High School take game number 1 of this best of 3 set. One step closer to the next round of the High School Star League playoffs. But can USS Youth bring it back in game number 2? It was a close match from both sides, but in the end, Groves High School do manage to take out the victory off of some nice play from Mossy and some stalwart execution from the rest of his team. We'll have to see if that continues in game number 2, but let's stop talking about it too much and actually go do that. So we'll be right back in just a couple moments with the next game in this best of 3. You've been watching the High School Star League Spring Playoffs lower bracket matchup between USS Youth and Groves High School. We'll be right back after a short break.